स्वदंष्ट्रायुद्धृत्य महिं निमग्नान् सः उत्थितः सम्रुरुचे रसायाः स उत्थिता सम्रुरुचे रसाया तत्रापि दैत्यं गदया आपतन्तं तत्रापि दैत्यं गदया पतन्तं सुनाभ संदीपिता तीव्रा मन्युः सुनाभ संदीपित तीव्र मन्युः स्वदंश्रयो उद्धृत्य महिं निमग्नां सवुतीता सम्रुरुचे रसायाः तत्रापि दैत्यं गदया पतन्तं सुनाभ संदीपित तीव्र मन्युः स्वदंश्रयो उद्धृत्य महिं निमग्नान् उत्थितः सम्रुरुचे रसायाः तत्रापि दैत्यं गदया पतन्तं सुनाभ संदीपित तीव्र मन्युः Swadamshraya, by his own tusks, Uddhrutya, rising, Mahim, the earth, Nimagnam, submerged, Saha, he, Utitaha, getting up, Sabhruruche, appeared very splendid, Rasayaha, from the water, Tatra, there, Api, also, Dhaityam, unto the Yeman, Gadaya, with the club, Apatantam, rushing towards him, Sunabha, the wheel of Krishna, Sandipita, glowing, Tivra, fierce, Manyuhu, anger. Translation and purport by Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada. Lord Boar very easily took the earth on his tusks and got it out of the water. Thus he appeared very splendid. Then, his anger glowing like the Sudarśana wheel, he immediately killed the demon Hiraṇyākṣa, although he tried to fight with the Lord. Please repeat the translation. Lord Boar very easily took the earth on his tusks and got it out of the water. Thus he appeared very splendid. Then his anger glowing like the Sudarśana wheel, he immediately killed the demon Hiraṇyākṣa, although he tried to fight with the Lord. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, the Vedic literatures describe the incarnation of Lord Varaha, Boar, in two different devastations, namely the Chakshusha devastation and the Swayambhu devastation. This particular appearance of the boar incarnation actually took place in the Swayambhu devastation, when all planets other than the higher ones, Jana, Mahar and Satya, merged in the water of devastation. This particular incarnation of the boar was seen by the inhabitants of the planets mentioned above. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura suggests that the sage Maitreya amalgamated both the Buddha incarnations in different devastations and summarized them in his descriptions to Vidura. Next two verses I will recite myself. Jagana Ruddhanam Asahya Vikramam Salila Yebhyam Mragarad Ivambasi Tadrakta Pankankita Gandha Tundo Yata Gajendro Jagatim Bibindan. Thereupon Lord Boar killed the demon within the water, just as a lion kills an elephant. The cheeks and tongue of the Lord became smeared with the blood of the demon, just as an elephant becomes reddish from digging in the purple earth. Tamala Neelam Sita Dantahat Kotya Kshmam Ukshipantam Gajalila Yanga Prajnaya Dhanjalayo Anuvaker Virinchi Mukya Upatasturisham. Then the Lord, playing like an elephant, suspended the earth on the edge of his curved white tusks. He assumed a bluish complexion like that of a tamala tree, and thus the sages headed by Brahma could understand him to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and offered respectful obeisances unto the Lord. Doesn't see Bhaktivedanta Padpado Majnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shrivasadi Gaurabhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here we see the Lord fighting with Hiraṇyākṣa, it is said. Swadamstraya Udrutya Mahim Nimagnan. Swadamstraya, by his tusks. Udrutya, he lifted. What? Mahim, the earth. So where was this earth? Nimagnan, he was submerged in the water. Saha Utitaha Samruruche Rasayaha. So the Lord got out of the water. Sa Utitaha Samruruche, he appeared splendid. Then Tatrapi, at the same time, Daityam Gadaya Apatantam. There was one Daitya by name Hiraṇyākṣa who was rushing towards the Lord with his mace, Gadaya Apatantam, to fight with the Lord. Sunaba Sandipita Tivra Manyuhu. The Lord, the carrier of the Sudarśana wheel, Tivra Manyuhu, he exhibited severe anger towards the demon. Sandipitaha, and that anger, that the glowing of his bodily anger, and he killed the demon, Hiraṇyākṣa. So in the purport, Prabhupada explains, according to different acharyas, different perceptions of this verse has been quoted. So according to Jiva Goswami, it says, this pastime appeared in Swayambhu Manu's time. But according to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, they say this pastime is specifically talking about the pastime which appeared in Chakshusha Manvantara. Because in Swayambhu Manvantara, Lord only lifted the earth planet. He did not fight with Hiraṇyākṣa. Hiranyakashipu and Hiraṇyākṣa appeared in 6th Manu's time, Chakshusha Manvantara's time. So Acharyas refer that Maitreya had mixed both the topics and he is communicating them as one particular pastime. So that is been mentioned in the purport here. Then Jagana Ruddhanam Asahya Vikramam. So the Lord Rundhanam, the enemy who is obstructing in the Lord's purpose, Jagana, the Lord killed him, Hiraṇyākṣa, and Asahya Vikramam, his unbearable prowess. Nobody could tolerate the prowess of the Lord. So Leelaya Ibham Mrugarad Iva Ambasi. In the water, Iva Ambasi. Sa Leelaya, like a simple plaything, Leelaya. Ibham Mrugarad Iva. Like a lion kills an elephant, the Lord killed Hiraṇyākṣa in the water. It's a simple plaything for him. Tad Rakta Pankankita Ganda Tundaha. his face and his cheeks and everywhere, that blood, while killing the Hiraṇyākṣa, that blood sprinkled over the body, the face of the Lord. That rakta pankankita, that smeared with the pool of his cheeks and the tongue. Yata Gajendra Jagatim Vibinnan. Sometimes when elephant sees a red color mud, it becomes little captivated by that color. It goes and starts playing with that mud, and it throws the mud everywhere across his body. So because of that muddish color, the elephant appears in a different color. So similarly, here the Lord appeared with the color of the blood of the demon. Then further it says, Tamala Neelam. Then Lord accepted a color of a bluish color, which is like a Tamala tree. Tamala Neelam. Sita Danta Kotya. Then his white tusks, Sita Danta Kotya, which were like a curved edge, like the tusk was coming like a curve. There was a curve. Kshmam Ukshipantam Gaja Leelayanga. Like he, Kshmam Ukshipantam, while suspending the earth on the tusks, while placing them on the tusks, Gajalilaya Anga, just like an elephant playing with a ball. Oh my dear Vidura, Prajnaya Baddhanjalayo Anuvaker. Prajnaya, understanding. Baddhanjalaya, with folded hands. Anuvaker, they started offering prayers, Vedic hymns. Virinchi Mukyaha, all the Brahmanas headed by Lord Brahma and all the great devotees in the upper planetary systems. Upatastu Risham, they offered prayers unto the Supreme Lord. When the Lord performed the pastime of lifting the earth or killing the demon, the devotees in the higher planetary systems headed by Lord Brahma, they offered various prayers to the Lord. So we understand here, these are the specific pastimes of the Lord which attract our consciousness, by which we become fascinated by the prowess of the Lord. They give an intellectual query to our understanding. How can Lord perform such a mystical pastimes? So that inquiry leads us to get more clarity about the Lord. So in various places in Bhagavatam, the importance of hearing about the Lord's pastimes have been glorified. So Lord Krishna himself says in Uddhava Gita, he says, Proktena bhakti yogena bhajato ma asakaran munehe kama hridayaya nashyanti sarve mai hrudi sthite. So when you hear about the pastimes of the Lord and when you engage in devotional service, Proktena, as instructed by the Lord, Bhakti Yogena, when one engages in devotional service, as directed by the Lord, Bhajataha, by performing the loving devotional service, Ma Asakran Munehe, an intelligent person who constantly engages in the devotional service of the Lord, Kama Hridaya Nashyanti, all the material desires within his heart are destroyed. The bonding to this material world lies in the heart. Grantihi, the knots. So all that unwanted things are cleared away from the heart. Then, Sarve Mai Hriday Sthitihi, and he becomes firmly fixed in the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is there within the heart. To the Paramatma, the devotee becomes fully fixed upon to the Supreme Lord. And next, what happens after becoming fixed? Vidyate Hridaya Grandhihi. All the knots which are at the tight knots which are within the heart, vidyate, they all become cut to pieces. All the heart knots within the heart are pierced, vidyate. Chidyante sarva shamshayaha, and all the misgivings are cut to pieces. Kshiyante cha asya karmani, and the chain of fruitive actions is terminated. Mai drishte akilatmani, and when I am seen as the Supreme Lord within the heart, all these things will happen. So when one fix up in devotional service as prescribed by the Lord, so what is happening? First thing, all the knots in the heart are pierced, all the misgivings are terminated, then all the chain of fruitive actions are also, misgivings are cut to pieces and chain of fruitive actions are terminated. Then as soon as one sees the Lord within the heart, all these things will practically happen. And further it says, Na kinchit sadhavo dhira bhakta hi ekantino mama vanchanti api maya dattam kaivalyam apunarbhavam. So, na kinchit, they do not expect anything else from me. Na kinchit sadhavaha, they are very saintly persons. And dhiraha, they are very intelligent, my devotees. Sadhavaha, dhiraha. Bhakta hi ekantino mama, and unalloyedly he engages in my devotional service, these bhaktas. Vanchanti api maya, vanchanti api, they do not desire anything from me. Maya dattam, even if I give them kaivalyam apunarbhavam, even if I give them liberation or taking them into my one of the aspects of spiritual world, they do not expect anything from me. They just want to engage in devotional service. So this is of a highest category, not to expect anything from the Lord. So then next it says, Nairapeksham param prahur nishteyasam analpakam tasma nirashisho bhaktir nirapekshasya me bhave. So prahuhu, it is said, nirapeksham param nishteyasam analpakam. So this is the highest perfection of life, the highest stage of freedom is complete detachment from matter. Nirapeksham. Apeksham means because we are all attached to this matter in this material world. When we come to the standard of devotional service, we become completely detached from matter. And we come to the highest platform of freedom. Then, Tasman nirashishaha. And he is not attached to any personal desires. Tasman nirashishaha. No expectations. Bhaktir nirapekshaya, and he engages in devotional service with no personal desire and does not pursue personal rewards. So there is no expectation in his service. Then Bhaktir me bhave, then he achieves pure loving devotion service unto me. Like the definition of bhakti itself is jnana karmadi anavrittam, free from any expectation from the Lord. So this is as when we practice as guided by the devotees, acharyas, and as instructed by the Lord, the process, then we come to that stage. So similarly, Sarvam Bhattacharya, initially he was like a Mayavadi. He was a Mayavadi who was very much into Shankaracharya philosophy, Neti philosophy. But in the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he started hearing about the devotional perspectives, slowly his consciousness transformed and he comes to the stage of pure devotee. And he becomes a close proximity devotee of the Lord. At one particular point he says, because Mayavadis are very much interested in liberation. So Sarvam Bhattacharya condemns liberation. I don't want liberation, he says. He even changes one of the word Mukti Pade to Bhakti Pade in Bhagavatam. So where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was little astonished, where you are. Earlier you were very much interested in Mukti. Now you are saying Mukti, Bhagavatam, I think Vyasadeva had done a mistake. It is not Mukti, it should be Bhakti. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no, don't change Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is Lord Krishna himself. Mukti Pade means at whose lotus feet, who delivers liberation. So Bhakti, understand that you are very much keen towards Bhakti. But we should not change Bhagavatam. See, by regular hearing and in the association of devotees, how a transformation happened across a person who was not even inclined into Bhakti. He became the greatest devotee. So he had compiled some verses as known as Chaitanya Shataka, 100 verses that glorify Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In that, some of the verses were there where he gives his understanding of Krishna consciousness. He says, Iyam rasajna tavanama kirtane. My tongue, rasajna, is there. Tavanama kirtane is only meant for glorifying your name. Shrotu manome shravane anuchintane. This ear, shrotu, is shravane, to hear your pastimes. Manome anuchintane, and my mind is there for your remembering your pastimes, contemplating your pastimes. Netre chate rupaha nirikshane sada, and my eyes are always hankering to have your darshan of your form. Netre tava darshane sada, my eyes always wants to have your darshan. Sirostu chaitanya padabi vandane, and my head is there always to pay obeisances at your lotus feet. Next, he says, Sankirtana ananda rasa swarupaha prema pradhanai kalu shuddha chittaha. The pure devotees, the associates of the Lord of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, are shuddha chittaha. They are very clean personalities. Their minds are very clean, shuddha chittaha. And Sankirtana ananda rasa swarupaha. Their bodies are like transcendental bliss personified. Sankirtana rasa swarupaha, Sankirtana ananda rasa swarupaha, and prema pradhanaihi. And what they do, they simply distribute love of Godhead to one and everyone. The devotees of Lord Chaitanya, they distribute love of Godhead to one and everyone. Prema pradhanaihi, sarve mahantaha, and they are all great mahantas, mahatmas, they are all. Kila Krishna tulyaha, and they are almost equal to Lord Krishna. They are non-different from Krishna in one sense, because they are distributing Krishna prema to one and everyone. Kila Krishna tulyaha, they are equivalent to Krishna. Samsara lokan paritarayanti, for whom are they distributing? For all those who are trying to cross this ocean of cycle of birth and death, who are struggling hard in this cycle of birth and death, they are freely distributing this Krishna bhakti to one and everyone. That's why they are Krishna tulyaha, they are equivalent to Lord Krishna, and they are all mahantaha, they are all mahatmas. So there, further he says, Yasmin deshe kula acharaha dharma acharaha cha nasti vai. Where Yasmin, in which particular country, deshe kula acharaha, the Jai Shri Radha Govinda Ki, those who are devoid of good behavior, kula acharaha, dharma acharaha, those who are devoid of religious behavior, cha na asti vai, those who, if somehow or other people of a particular country become averse to religious principles and devoid of good behavior, tatapi danyas tad deshaha, but still that country is very glorious. Nama sankirtanad Hare, if one engages in the holy name of that Hari, even that country becomes glorified. When people chant the holy name of the Lord, somehow or other people should chant the holy name, even if they are not able to follow the religious principles strictly, but just by chanting that holy name, the entire country becomes glorious. Next. Sarva avatara bhajatam jananam tratum samartaha kila sadhu varta bhaktan abhaktan api gaurachandraha tathara krishnamrita namadanai. So, sarva avatara bhajatam jananam. So, the Lord accepted various incarnations, sarva avataraha, jananam tratum, to protect the devotees. The various incarnations are to protecting the devotees. Samartaha kila sadhu varta, and I heard about this Lord's various incarnations from various sadhus, various devotees. I heard about the various perspectives of Lord's incarnations. But Gaurachandraha, Lord Gaurachandra, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, Krishna Amrita Nama Danai, to give the love of Godhead as charity, bestowing the nectar of love of Godhead, the holy names of the Lord. And Tatara, he delivered everyone. Bhaktan abhaktan api, without any discrimination, either they are devotee or they are non-devotee, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu delivered one and everyone, without any discrimination. So, Chaitanya Prema Data Akila Bhuvana. So, he is Prema Data. He is the giver of, bestower of love of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya. Then, Akila Bhuvana Jananan Bhava Hunkara Nader. By his loud shouting, Bhava Hunkara Nader, Govinda Akrishta Chittan. He attracted everybody's conscious towards Lord Krishna. Govinda Akrishta Chittan. Kuvishaya Viratan, those who are engaged in sense gratification topics. Kuvishayan, the jana who are interested in only material sense gratificatory topics, he loudly shouted the holy name of the Lord and attracted their consciousness towards Lord Krishna. Karayam Asha Shigram, and thereby attracting their minds. Shigram, immediately. See, when we are talking something, somebody will come and shout loudly. So, our attention goes to them. So, similarly, Lord shouted loudly with his humkara voices so that all our consciousness will be naturally be attracted towards Krishna. Then, Evam Sri Gaurachandra Jagaticha, in this world, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Janite Vanchito Yahi Murkaha. So, even though the fools who are bereft of receiving the mercy of such a compassionate Lord, who are they? Murkaha, who are foolish. Tapi, those who are drunkards. Papi, those who are sinful people. Surapi, those who are addicted to intoxication. Hari Guru Vimukaha, those who are offensive to Lord Hari and to devotees. Sarvada Vanchita Saha. In this way, even though they are there, Lord cheated them, all of them. So, whatever category they are, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cheated them and somehow or other brought them to Krishna consciousness. Even they are drunkards, they are sinful people. By associating with the Lord, even they all got an opportunity. Or we can see those who are this sinful category of people, they could not understand about the Lord and they got cheated. Even the Lord had come, they could not get connected with the Lord. So, the spiritual perspective is to practice in the association of devotees. Now, there is this 1 month Margashira Masa. Generally in Sri Vaishnava temples, this Tiruppavai, 30 days they worship Goda Krishna. The mood in which she invited the Lord by 30 different prayers. So, every day one verse will be recited and her mood of reciting that prayer will be described. So, what is the speciality in these verses? Why and what happened after that reciting of 30 verses? We can understand. So, there was one devotee by name Periyalvar, also known as Vishnu Chittar, who took birth in area called as Srivalli Puttur. There was one Krishna deity by name Vatapatra Shayi in that area. So, from his childhood, he was very much attached to the Lord. So, he always had this intention like Mother Yashoda. He always wanted to treat the Lord in the way how Mother Yashoda treats the Lord, like a fatherly paternal affection. And he was very much fascinated by the Lord because when Lord had appeared, the Lord had a liking to wear various fragrant garlands made of various flowers. So, he wanted to satisfy the Lord with that specific service of everyday making various garlands, and by decorating the Lord with that various flowers and various fragrances, he used to enjoy. So, for that purpose, he had sold away some property and he had purchased a land near the temple, and he transformed that area into a beautiful garden with various types of fragrant flowers and tulsi he used to grow there. So, every day early in the morning he used to rise, he used to finish all his morning duties, then he used to pluck the flowers, and while making garlands, whole of the day while making garlands he used to chant the holy name of the Lord. And with that chanting, and he finished the garland making, then he used to take to the temple and he used to stand and visualize the Lord wearing those garlands, and he used to enjoy that happiness. So, we all earlier also in one session we heard about how he became a great reciter of Vedic knowledge. That's why he is known as Periyalvar, because he is the one when he had performed one pastime where Lord instructed him to go and speak in an assembly. He said, I have not studied anything because I thought that study is a waste of time. I was engaged in only in making your garlands. I don't know anything about Vedic knowledge. Lord said, don't bother. You just go there. You become an instrument in my hand. You just stand there. Everything will come out of your mouth. So he went to the assembly and he started speaking. Everybody thought, what is this foolish person who has never gone to school or college? He has come here to debate on philosophical truths. But the moment when he started speaking, early morning it started, and evening only when it started, when they started the lamps in the assembly, only then he concluded the topic. So everybody became fascinated. In a simple words, he explained the Vedic knowledge that everybody could understand the essence of all Vedic perspectives. The king, who wanted to learn this knowledge, he came and paid obeisances, and he said, you are the great personality. Till today, nobody had explained me in such a precise form, in simple words, the essence of Vedic knowledge. So they gave him a title, Bhakta Piriyan, means the best of the devotees. So they made him sit on a royal elephant and they took him across the streets. And they started celebration that day that he is the winner of the debate. So when everybody was enjoying these pastimes, even Lord, who had instructed him, had come there on Garuda, sitting on Garuda along with Lakshmi Devi, to see how his devotee is glorified. The whole entire path he was only offering his respects to the Lord. He said, I am an incapable person. I am just like a puppeteer. I am just a puppet. The puppeteer is the Lord. I am just a simple man. So you should give credit to the Supreme Lord, he said. But they said, no, you are the person who had done this miracle. So he was continuously crying ecstasy. But as soon as he saw the Lord, he started glorifying the Lord by offering prayers known as Tirupallandu. He is saying, my dear Lord, all auspiciousness unto you. You live for thousands and thousands of years. Like he was giving Ashirvada to the Lord only. So in that way, that's why he became known as Periyalvar, one who had blessed the Lord himself. So after that, he went away to his respective place and he continued his doing of service of offering garlands to the Lord. One day, when the early morning, when he went to collect the flowers, he heard a small baby girl cry in a nearby Tulsi garden. When he went near the Tulsi garden, he saw a small baby girl. And she was like resplendent, that bodily color and everything, effulgence were all. She was smiling, she was so beautiful, with every body part was so nicely made. So he became fascinated, he picked up that girl and he felt that same thing, like he was carrying Lord Krishna, baby Krishna in his arms. So he hugged her and he kissed her, and he and his wife enjoyed that happiness of having Lord Krishna in their home. Then they started training her, growing her. As she started growing her in her age, she started supporting the father. The whole day, what she used to do, she used to go and pluck the flowers also. She used to help the father in making the garlands, and she used to hear about Bhagavata Katha, the pastimes of Lord. And she became so much fascinated about the deity stories and all. She used to only talk to Krishna only. Whole day she is simply talking to Krishna. So others used to imagine, what is she doing? So she is simply imagining like Krishna is there in front of him and in front of her, and she simply starts talking to him. So in that way she was raised. So by the consciousness of the father and the daughter, so whole day they used to make the garlands, they used to go to the temple, they used to serve the deity by that garlands, and they used to enjoy that Lord wearing that garlands. On one particular day, as she grew little older, her father made a garland and kept it in a basket and went out to do a stroll, because it was not at the time for the garland to be offered in the temple. He had some time, he went around for a walk. In the meantime, she picked up that garland and she thought how Lord looks like. And she wore that garland and she stood in front of the mirror and she was seeing how that garland will look like if Lord wears upon that garland. So as soon as she heard that father is coming back, she put that garland back into the place there and she went away. So that day the Periyalvar took the garland and he put it in front of the deity, and the deity was offered that garland. That day the Lord was smiling. There was a bright effulgence around the Lord, and the entire area was so aromatic. Everybody was wondering, where is this smell coming from? It's a divine fragrance. The entire area was fascinated and everybody were wondering. And he was also thinking, it is the same flower, same garland. What is so special? Today Lord is smiling and there is a divine fragrance from that garland in the entire area. He could not understand. So this was continued for some days. One particular day, so when he went to offer the garland, he saw there was a hair strand into the garland. Then he could understand somebody was wearing this garland. That's why there was a hair strand into the garland. Then he went to the daughter and asked, have you wore this garland? So he started scolding her mildly. She said, see what an offense we have done. How can we honor something which is before being offered to the Lord? It becomes contaminated. So we have done a great offense. So then the girl, she also tried to justify. She said, see, if Lord is there within my heart, so I wanted to see how Lord feels like. That's why I am wearing this garland. So in that way she was giving justification, but she also understood, oh my dear father, I am sorry. So he was also feeling very sorry that the first time he had scolded his daughter, till then he had not even said one word to his daughter also. So he said, okay, don't worry, tomorrow onwards don't do this. So he removed that garland aside and he made a fresh garland. And he went and took to the Lord. When he put that garland to the Lord, that day Lord was not smiling and there was no divine fragrance. And he was all confused. What happened today? Why the Lord is not smiling? Why the fragrance is not there? So when he came back, he was contemplating and he was thinking of too many things. He scolded his daughter first day. Lord is not satisfied. What is happening? So when he slept in his dream, the Lord appeared and he said, I have sent my internal potency to you so that she can prepare these garlands and wear these garlands and send to me so that I can enjoy the garlands that were worn by her. And today you have stopped the thing. That's why I did not enjoy. Please don't scold her anything. So please every day make her wear the garland and then send to me. I will be able to enjoy and relish the seva of Goda Devi. So next day morning, whatever that garland was discarded, it was aside. So he took that garland and he gave it to the Lord, and Lord became very happy. He was smiling at that. Again that fragrance came back. So in that way they were relishing the seva to the Lord. So once he was trying to, as a girl grew to the marriageable age, he was asking the girl whom she wants to marry. She said she wants to marry only the Lord. Then there are lords, means so many lords avatars, so many lords deities. So which Lord are you wanted to marry? So he explained all the 108 Divyadeshams. So when she heard about Ranganatha, she became very much attached to that Ranganatha deity. She had not seen the deity, but she became very much attached to the deity. And she said, if I am going to marry, I am going to marry only Lord Ranganatha. I am not going to marry anybody else. Then the father thought, this is impractical. Whole life she will be only Kumari. She will never get married. Is there anywhere we have seen that a girl becoming married to the deity? And he was contemplating how to satisfy the desire of her daughter, dear daughter. So then, Goda Devi, she was feeling that she will not be able to marry, to marry attraction of Lord Krishna, to bring the attention of Lord Krishna. She engaged in one vow. How gopis had worshipped Katyayini to attain Krishna as their husband. So she also ventured into a system of 1 month vow to attract the attention of Lord so that he could marry her or she could marry him. So in that is the process of these 30 verses. This is known as Tirupavai. This is a way how to attract the attention of the Lord and seek refuge at his lotus feet. The first 5 stanzas, the first 5 verses, they talk about the 4 fundamental Sri Vaishnava principles. So the first principle is Prapya Swarupam, the nature of the goal of life, the first principle. The second principle was Prapaka Swarupam, the means which can directly lead us to the goal. And the third principle was Adhikari Swarupam, the qualifications required for an aspirant who wants to reach the goal through that means. And the fourth one was Phalaswarupam, the result of such a spiritual quest, the destruction of karma and the care for the well-being of others. In the first 5 verses, these 4 topics were taught. And in the next 10 verses, how the gopis, they used to rise early in the morning, they used to go to wake up other gopis so that as a group they can go in front of Lord Krishna. So that they could enjoy the pretext of having Krishna's association as a group. So the reasons why they have to go to a group, why not individually, are mentioned as 3 reasons. First reason was, just as one seeks help of others before venturing into a flooded river, if you want to cross a river, you cannot go independently. As a group, holding hands, everybody would try to cross the river. So also the tendency of every God lover is to secure help of similarly aspirant devotees, so that before she or he plunges into the river of bhakti. Something like the qualities of the Lord during mystical absorption may overwhelm one completely if we are independent. So we may become drowned if we are independent. So as a group they go, so that everybody, the support of other devotees is there. We can progress very easily. The second reason is, it is not proper that one should enjoy anything in solitude. One should share one's pleasure with the others. So Krishna consciousness is to share with others. Sharing is caring. The third principle is, the company of those who are in love of God is a great asset in approaching the Lord. So if you want to practice bhakti, in the association of devotees is the safest way. So in that principle it also says different acharyas have given different opinions. These 10 verses, some people say, talks about the 10 alvars whom she is invoking their blessings so that she can become perfect in the association in the process. Some people say she is invoking the 10 acharyas so that everybody can approach the Lord in the association of these 10 acharyas. So if it is 10 alvars, it is Pogai Alvar, Pei Alvar, Bhatta Alvar, Tirumalesha Alvar, Kulashekar Alvar, Peri Alvar, Tandarpodi Alvar, Tirupannar Alvar, Namma Alvar, Tirumangai Alvar. If it is these 10 alvars, or if it is acharyas, means Guru, Paramaguru, Sarvaguru, Ramanuja, Parankusha Dasa, Yamunacharya, Rama Mishra, Pundarikaksha, Nathamuni, Shatakopa. So it is like a Guru Parampara for them. So in that way, either it is acharyas or in the association of alvars, by invoking their blessings, one can advance towards spiritual life. So this is the intention in the next 10 verses. In the last 15 verses, Andal, she glorifies or she requests the 5 gatekeepers before reaching Lord Krishna. She prays to these 5 personalities. So the first one is the gatekeepers of the outer court. The second one is the gatekeepers of the inner court. Then it is Nandagopa. Then it is Yashoda. Then it is Balarama. So if all of you can bestow your blessings upon me, then I will be able to achieve Lord Krishna. So in that way, she is invoking the blessings of all the concerned people who are connected with the Lord. Because if you want to achieve the mercy of the Lord, you can achieve only by his intimate associates, we can achieve that mercy. So she is invoking the mercy of intimate associates so that Krishna becomes favorable upon her. So in that way, after 30 days, she offered her prayers, Lord became satisfied. After 30th day, the Lord inspired Periyalvar to bring his daughter in a royal way to Srirangam. And he inspired the king also through a dream to bring her in a royal palanquin with all the state formalities. So the king with all his ministers, the chief priests of Srirangam, and all the people, they came to Srivaliputtur, they decorated her nicely. She is already beautiful, they decorated her even more beautiful. The entire path was decorated with like a festivity, celebrity, and there was royal celebrations and royal processions and all. The girl was taken to Srirangam, and when she was stopped in front of the temple, she started walking towards the altar. She entered into the altar and she merged into the deity of the altar. Then Periyalvar and his wife started crying. They started saying, you have given us that only one daughter, and you are a thief who took away that one daughter from us. And you have given us that joy and you have taken away that joy. And whole life we will be crying in her association, of missing her association. He was very happy that she had achieved her success, but they were very sad. They missed their daughter. If it have been material daughter, at least once in a while, every year or something, for some festival, she will come to the house. Or when she is pregnant, she will come to the house. We don't have that opportunity also. Like that, they were missing the association of the daughter. They started crying. So it is said that in that renunciation of missing their daughter, they became very old and they very soon quit their bodies and went back home, back to Godhead. So this is the pastime. So see how the Lord also performs various leelas. He brings his own devotees and he brings his own specific situations. So that devotees also surrender. Through their example, we also should know how we can also approach the Lord. We cannot independently go to Krishna. We have to have the association of Vaishnavas who are practicing in the process. We need the blessings of all the acharyas in the parampara system. We need the blessings of all the pure devotees. Only then we can achieve Lord Krishna, or else it is not possible. So I'll stop here. Any questions or doubts? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की.
హరే కృష్ణ గోల్డెన్ టెంపుల్ వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణవాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ యాప్ ద్వారా కూడా సులభంగా పత్రికలు చదువుకునే సౌకర్యం, వార్షిక సభ్యత్వం, భగవద్గీత, భాగవత ప్రవచనాలు, స్ఫూర్తి సందేశాలు, ఇంకా మరెన్నో సదుపాయాలతో హరే కృష్ణవాణి మొబైల్ యాప్ నేడే డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. మరిన్ని వివరాల కోసం కాల్ చేయండి